Good morning, Satnam. It's me, Shakti Sundari, back with you again today for the next reading from the Radiance Sutras by Lauren Roche. Oh gosh, I'm feeling so amazingly blessed and bliss this morning. Last night I attended a concert by Deva Premal, Meetan and Manoj here in London, and it was the most divine, blissful, exquisite, incredible experience. I had heartgasms, I had joygasms. It was one of the most ecstatic experiences. I can't say for my life because I have lots of ecstatic experiences, but oh my goodness, how beautiful, exquisite, divine, blissful, amazing. I'm so grateful for this experience. And I guess what I want to say to that is that it reminded me again, and I love to be reminded of how simple it is to be in that ecstatic space, simply through chanting, through mantra, through sacred sound, and through being in a community of people where that energy is shared in connection. It's just so beautiful, so uplifting. And also to be in the presence of a couple who are profoundly in love and profoundly embodying the divine masculine and the divine feminine in worshipful adoration, devotion to one another. Just so beautiful to witness their flow together. So effortless, so harmonious, just exquisite. So feeling really blessed. And this morning I've just given my practice for the day in the course that I'm running, Awakening Your Ecstatic Potential, and today's practice has been about the breath, and I've been using one of the practices from the Radiance Sutras, from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. And so it's really interesting to me that once again, as we come to the end of this book and I'm reading the insight verses, that I'm going to be speaking about breath again today, and there's so much emphasis on the breath in these meditations from the tantric tradition. And I just want to say, I guess, to anyone who's watching this, to anyone who's curious about Tantra, that it's about so much more than what we might think in the West of it being about sexual union. You know, most of these meditations are not about sexual union at all. Most of them are about the breath and our mental awareness, about energy flow, about energy centers, and it's cultivating the capacity to master these aspects of our being that really allow for the expansion of our consciousness and for the experience of bliss. But of course, they also allow us that transcendent connection with the divine, and they enhance our capacity to relate to all of life from the heart space. So any one of these practices and making them your own and making them part of your daily life will enhance your relating, your relationships, your friendships, your life, your work, everything. And particularly if you are in union with someone, just as I saw modeled so beautifully by Deva Premal and Meetan, this couple who sing sacred mantra, is that it's so obvious to see that this is their life, that it is imbued with a higher consciousness and a higher awareness that is fully integrated in their beings, and it's just profoundly beautiful to see. So that's my little sharing personally from this morning, and now we're going to go on to insight verse 155 from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. So here is the Sanskrit this morning. Ayam anu charan Tishtan maha ananda maye advare Taya divya samavishta param bharavam apnuyat. And once again. Asyam anucharan Tishtan maha ananda maye advare Taya divya samavishta param bharavam apnuyat. And here's the English translation by Lauren Roche. Breath flows into this body as a nectar of the gods, Every breath is a whisper of the goddess. Here is the ritual I ask of you. Be the cup into which I pour this bliss, the elixir of immortal peace. Very simple, very profound, just like each and every one of these verses. Bringing us a whole other way of conceiving of and relating to our breath. This breath that is happening all the time, that we so take for granted, that most of the time we're not even conscious of. But hey, listen, breath flows into this body as a nectar of the gods. A nectar of the gods. Now, how does that change how you even conceive of your breath, your breathing, and your relating to it, and what this might be for you in terms of such a gift? The nectar of the gods. What does the nectar of the gods offer us? Well, in myths, the nectar of the gods gives us eternal life. It grants us gifts such as beauty, vitality, health, sensuality, fertility, the nectar of the gods. Delicious, profound, juicy, beautiful, radiant, all of those adjectives come to mind when we think of nectar. Such a beautiful word. Every breath is a whisper of the goddess. So here, reference to the fact that the breath is an aspect of the divine feminine, of prana, Shakti, life force. And she is whispering. And again, what a beautiful image, like to literally imagine the goddess whispering into your ear as you breathe. And she's whispering. So this is actually in quotation marks. Here is the ritual I ask of you. Be the cup into which I pour this bliss. Be the cup into which I pour this bliss. So the invitation is to be the conscious receptacle that receives the gift of this elixir. To know that what we are receiving is a gift of the divine, a gift of bliss, a gift of pleasure, a gift of eternal life. The elixir, as she calls it, of immortal peace. The peace that comes with being in the present. So when we are focused on the breath, when we are with the breath, there can be nothing else. There is simply this. And as I was talking about in my Awakening Your Ecstatic Potential course this morning, there is the potential to experience divine union with yourself and with the divine in the breath, simply by paying attention to the breath and where the in and the out breath meet. And in that resting place, the top and the bottom of the breath, there's a silence, there's a stillness, there's a nothingness that we can reach that is exquisite and that touches upon the eternal and infinite circle of life. The breath that is flowing always, in all ways, through all beings, through all of life. The cycle of life that continues onwards and onwards and onwards. And for a moment we become a part of that in the breath. The breath is breathing us always. So we touch upon the elixir, so another word like nectar, a magical alchemical potion of immortal peace. We experience eternity, we experience infinity through the breath. And that is the gift that she brings us. And by being willing to receive her gifts, we can experience it. And by being fully present and honoring ourselves as this receptacle, it just makes me think of honoring our bodies and being aware that our bodies are sacred, that our bodies are divine, and taking care of our bodies in that way with such devotion, with such honoring and such love. Yes, and as I breathe into my own body, I'm just aware of that elixir and that nectar coming into my being, and of the beauty of being able to share that breath with another, with others, and be connected in that infinite space, not only with ourselves, with the divine, but with all, or with one another. What a gift. Yeah. So thank you so much for being with me this morning, and join me again tomorrow for the next reading from the Radiance Sutras. Much love and Sat Nam.